Hey, what's up guys? You know what this video is about, you saw the title, so let's just get right into it. I think that the Milwaukee Bucks can be a future dynasty. Now, I've heard things about the Suns and the Timberwolves and the Lakers, how they're gonna be so good in the future about 3 years from now, but I feel that the Milwaukee Bucks should be in that conversation. Number one reason, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I never really paid attention much to Antetokounmpo throughout the NBA season because I was thinking, he's just doing what he does. I'll give him one more year to develop some more. But my eyes were opened on the last game of 2016. Giannis put up 35 points, 7 assists, 7 blocks, and 9 rebounds. I mean, how are you supposed to deal with that? And he's pretty much positionless. This dude is 6'11" about, so you could list him at center and power forward technically. He's officially listed at small forward. BasketballReference.com lists him at a shooting guard, and many people consider him to be a point guard. So he's basically all of the positions wrapped into one player. Honestly, I think that this dude is better than Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, D'Angelo, any of those guys. I feel like this one could be the best out of all of them. And then there's the situation about Jabari Parker. He was injured his rookie season, so he wasn't able to show out much. And his next season, he was a good player, averaging 30 minutes and 14 points a game. I mean, that's decent. But this year, so far he's averaging 20.5 points and 6 rebounds. He's doing this on 50% shooting and near 40% shooting from the 3 by taking 3.3 threes a game. I don't know about you, but this dude sounds like he can become a perennial all-star. And in that same game where Giannis dropped 35, Jabari dropped 27. On 67% shooting. When doing that, he showed how effective a scorer he can be. And finally, there's the case of Malcolm Brogdon. Now, this dude is a rookie and 24 years old. I don't know how that happened. He had some sort of injury, I think, or something like that in college, so he had to skip out a few years. I don't really know. But as a rookie, he's been developing into a nice role player. So far, he's been showing flashes as a sort of a Draymond Green player, except at the shooting guard position. In that game that I've mentioned for Jabari and Antetokounmpo, he had 15 points, 12 assists, and 11 rebounds. To put icing on the cake, the Bucks still have Khris Middleton, who's 25 years old and was averaging 18 points a game last season as a spot-up shooter. So here you have 4 players that are good in their own right, and they're all under the age of 25. Actually, if you think about it, these guys actually draw comparisons to the Warriors. KD would be Giannis, Middleton would be Clay, Brogdon would be Draymond, and Jabari, I guess, would be Curry. I mean, they can both create some shots. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. So yeah, I think this team can be super good in the next 2 to 3 years. But of course, they're probably gonna have to make some moves first to realize that dream. Alright guys, this trade is a little bit, it's more like something that could happen in La La Land. You never know. It could happen. I'm not sure. But this is a trade I got. Jerry Bayless, Gerald Henderson, and Nerlens Noel. Jerry Bayless and Gerald Henderson are both veteran guards that could help out a little on the scoring side, especially as Milwaukee struggles from scoring from the guard spots with Khris Middleton out. And I think they could help the Bucks generate a better offense. And sorta also, this is the only way I can make the trade work. Of course, I could do some fiddling around with this. I don't know, add a few more pieces or something like that. But this is sort of like the basis I got going. But now, of course, we all know the main target here is Noel. I mean, Noel is just a beast overall. I mean, he's athletic. He can finish alley-oops. He can play elite defense that is only going to get better as he ages. I mean, he's only 22. For these two players, Greg Monroe and Khris Middleton. Now, I know how I said Khris Middleton is one of those really good players and could really help them along. But honestly, if I had to choose, I'd honestly take Noel. I mean, Noel, he's younger than Khris Middleton, and I feel like Noel is going to help them more with defense. I mean, anyone wants Noel. I mean, who wouldn't want him? Khris Middleton might be a good trade. There may be some other trade out there. I don't know. They could make something work. I'm not sure. But besides that, this trade is pretty good for both sides. There's Nerlens Noel, who can do a lot of things on the defensive side and is only going to get better. Then there's Khris Middleton on the Sixers, who can play shooting guard when Ben Simmons comes back. And then that team was pretty darn crazy. I mean, you have TJ McConnell, who dropped 17 assists the other day. Then you have Khris Middleton, a 25-year-old sharpshooter. Then you got Ben Simmons, who hopefully won't be a bust, who will be a playmaker for the Sixers. Then you got Okafor, I guess. I mean, they're gonna trade Okafor. I mean, they'll still have 3 centers with Greg Monroe on the team, but they could trade him for, I don't know, something good. So you have some mystery power forward there, or maybe get Greg Monroe, or if they decide to keep Okafor and trade Monroe, I don't know how it's gonna work. Then you have Joel Embiid, the beast from the East, who in my opinion will be one of the greatest players of all time when it's all said and done. This trade's a little bit out there, but you never know what might happen. Alright guys, I was going to have a DeMarcus Cousins trade here, as of course everyone's been making videos on that, so I decided to add on my own input, but now I can't because apparently DeMarcus Cousins wants to stay in Sacramento.
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here. Because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
He's a free man, he can do whatever he wants. But anyway, so I'm going to look into the future a little bit more. I know it's a while from now, but there's always the free agency. And Milwaukee could actually pull some people, thanks to Giannis and Jabari. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with them? Now, of course, they're probably over the cap, and so they'll have to make room somehow by getting rid of some awful contracts. I don't know how they'll do that. If they can work the magic, then good. They can do this. So the top 3 free agents right now are Curry, Durant, and Paul, which I don't see any of them leaving anytime soon. But there's always Blake Griffin. Now, I know he's going to want a big contract, but he may want to come to Milwaukee. It's a possibility. It's very slim, but it's not. It's very slim, but it's not. I'm going down the list. There's Gordon Hayward, Kyle Lowry, Paul Millsap, Dwayne Wade, Drew Holiday, and Nerlens Noel. Now, I've talked about Nerlens Noel. He's on restricted free agency, but he's going to leave sometime. I don't know when. Hopefully, the Bucks can trade for him. And then there's Serge Ibaka. Now, Serge Ibaka becomes a free agent next year, and given his talents, he definitely wants to be to a winning team. I mean, he's going to decline soon, and he's just wasting his talent on a subpar team. So, he sees Giannis and Jabari and Brogdon. He may want to go there. That lineup would be actually pretty deadly. No, that would be deadly. I believe that would be a finals contender. We would have Dellavedova, Middleton, Antetokounmpo, Parker, and Ibaka. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a murder of a group. And then there's Paul Millsap, which I don't think would be that good a fit as he's only 6'8". And then they wouldn't really have any true centers. Well, they're stock full of centers right now, but I don't think Paul Millsap would be a good fit. Then there's also George Hill, who's a very good 3-and-D player for the Utah Jazz. I believe they'd be a pretty good contender. Hill could be a solid 15-point per game scorer for them, and also average roughly 6 assists a game, so that would be really good for them. A slight upgrade from Dellavedova, but enough to fit the job. So okay, to recap. The Bucks have some of the most talented young players on their team right now, with Antetokounmpo, Parker, and Brogdon, and potentially Khris Middleton. If they can build up their team a little bit more or develop a little bit more in the right direction, I believe that the Bucks will be a very, very strong contender against the Cavs, and perhaps even win the finals in a few years. I mean, when you have a generational talent like Antetokounmpo, and then you also have a perennial all-star in Jabari Parker, and then you have the best rookie from the 2016 NBA draft class right now, and the spot-up shooter in Khris Middleton, if you can build a team around those 4, add a few pieces here and there, this team will be like ridiculously good. I know I'm saying it over and over again, but that's how much I believe it. This team will be amazing someday. So what do you think? Leave your opinion down in the comment section below. And if you like the video, do the obvious thing. And yeah, see you later.